Thank you, everybody. Welcome for showing up for the launching of our Eretmis PCI Partnership Program. I appreciate everybody's time. Today is Wednesday night, right? You could have been doing something else. Even for our PCI class, we have a PCI class tonight, but we're taking an hour of their time to do this. So I appreciate everybody's time. We are starting this. So today we are officially outdooring our PCI Partnership Program. This program has been in the pipeline for a while, right? And is finally here. And we will look at the details, about the program and who this program is for. So for everybody new to the family, I'm Dr. Emmanuel Edu. I'm a former United States Army captain. I'm a QSA, cybersecurity, everything. I love teaching cybersecurity, doing cybersecurity. I've been in IT for quite some time now. In my Army days or in my military days, doing back and forth IT stuff and leadership and management stuff. I'm the CEO of Eretmis Inc, the QSA company that is running this Eretmis Partnership Program, and I'm also the founder of Eretmis Academy, a training academy that trains cybersecurity professionals. So welcome to Eretmis family. I know most of the people here are part of the Eretmis family. If you are not, it's an open family. We embrace everybody, and our goal is to strive to be the best in cybersecurity and in IT. And now in PCI, in the PCI world, we want to take the PCI world by storm, right? So this program, for today's luncheon, we will be discussing what the program is about. We will look at the business benefits of partnering with Eretmis for this program. And as a partner, what are the benefits to you, right? And also the requirements for partners, what are the eligibility for partners, and why partner with us, and also the application process of becoming an Eretmis PCI partner. So Eretmis Inc, most people know Eretmis Academy. Eretmis Inc is a consulting firm based in New York, a cybersecurity consulting firm based in New York. We are a QSA company. You can check that on the PCI website. You are able to verify and check companies that claim to be QSA companies, or companies that have been authorized to perform PCI DSS assessments or audits on merchants and service providers, right? So we are one of the about 150 QSA companies in the United States, and one of the about 350 QSA companies around the world, right? We strive to be the best in everything that we do. We've been doing PCI assessments, PCI DSS assessment for a while now, and we are coming up with this to help everybody on here that I know everybody on here is interested in PCI and to get their foot into the industry. But here we are not just going to point you in the right direction in terms of getting your foot into the industry, but we are trying to set you up to start working and doing consulting stuff in PCI DSS area. Okay. So this program will take you from wherever you are at in PCI, or even not in PCI, to where you can start working, even if not for PCI, but as a cybersecurity consultant in one area or the other, right? So Eretmis has been doing PCI. We now teach PCI within our academy, and we thought it wise because of how we've been approached by several people within the family about working in the PCI industry, right? So we came up with this predominantly to kind of empower our partners financially, and also to let them take charge of their own destiny when it comes to cyber jobs or PCI jobs, right? So not just pointing you in the direction of this is where you can find jobs, but we are teaching you how to create the jobs yourself, right? So instead of just giving you the fish, we are teaching you how to fish, right? That is the intent of this program, right? So this program is designed to give you real world cybersecurity, real world PCI DSS / cybersecurity consulting feel. You're also going to get some feel when it comes to cyber sales and marketing aspect, and also very importantly, the business aspect of cybersecurity, right? Most of us, you know, some are working in the industry already. We are going to show you the business side of it, right? Working as a cybersecurity, you know, analyst, a cybersecurity, anything, PCI DSS manager, PCI, anything within a company is different from the business part of what you are doing, right? So this program will address all that. Now, these are some of the benefits of partnering with Eretmis Inc. You are joining a world leader in PCI DSS audits or assessments. We are going to help you to set up to become an independent consultant in the area of PCI DSS, or if you can, that can also spread over to other areas of cybersecurity, right? So if you have a business already and you are doing anything else, you can still add this to your portfolio, and we are going to help you do that. So that is one of the goals of this program, and also to boost. Here we said to boost your earning power, not just your earning power. I mean, if you're already in business, it's going to boost sales, and if you are working, you know, this is going to be an extra, depending on how serious you take this. It can be something that might probably take you off your day job and make you, you know, your own boss. Or if you want to do it part-time, depending on how things go, this is going to be a very big boost in terms of extra income. Okay. So sorry, there are still people coming in. That is why there'll be some pauses here and there, right? And also, this will help you to gain competitive advantage, right? If you're already doing anything PCI, or you and maybe any other consultant that will be out there that is trying to do any PCI gigs, you're going to have a competitive edge over them, hands down. And we can promise and assure you that, right? Because guess what? If maybe probably you join this program after the next 4 or 5 months, our goal is for you to set up your own shop, right? When you set up your own shop, you have our backing. So setting your own shop and knowing Eretmis is behind you and everything that you're doing, you can always fall back on us. That is a big advantage than, you know, other people who might want to go that route without, you know, any big uncle behind them to really, you know, back them up, right? So, and also loyalty. So customer loyalty. We can assure you that anybody that you, any company that you work with, they are most definitely going to retain you, and they are most definitely going to be a loyal customer, right? Because of how we are going to structure and how you are going to deal and work with them. Okay? Please, if you have any questions as we're moving forward, you can put it in the chat. Okay. So benefits to our partners. So we are going to relook at this list. So cybersecurity business, the business aspect of cybersecurity, like I talked about earlier, marketing. So if you have any marketing experience, prior marketing experience is going to be very beneficial in this. You can be a consultant or you can do anything business without some marketing and sales. And sales also, but all these we are going to school you on it or train you, give you some training on it as to how to go about. It's going to be part of the whole business aspect of cybersecurity or PCI DSS, right? So you are not only going to gain technical knowledge and the skill and the knowledge to be able to, you know, set up shop as a consultant, but you will also know the business aspect of consulting and all that, right? And financially, it's going to be very rewarding. We can promise you that. And in terms of training and other enablements, you know, we are going to make sure we polish you up on those areas, right? So this is not going to be a full-blown training program. right? It's not going to replace the PCI DSS expert or specialist training. It's not going to replace any of our Eretmis Academy training or training courses. This is a business approach to cybersecurity and to PCI DSS. Okay, so I know maybe some people might have questions on that area. Should I take the PCI DSS course or should I join this program? They are two different things, right? So with a PCI DSS training course, you are being trained to work in a company or you are being trained to work in an auditing firm, right? With this, we are not necessarily training you, but we are actually on the field doing it, right? And the skills that you are going to gain and the knowledge you're going to gain from this is something that is going to be a lifelong asset to you because you are going to benefit from it your entire life, right? Because if, like the saying goes, you know, if I show you how to, if I give you a fish, I'll feed you for a day. But if I teach you how to fish, you know, I've fed you probably your entire life, right? And not just you, anybody else whom you might come in contact with, who is going to benefit from it, okay? So that is the intent of this. And breaking it down, what exactly are we going to be doing in terms of everything that we listed previously? We will work on PCI DSS opportunities together, right? And we'll break that down. So PCI DSS opportunities, we'll work on them together. You are also going to acquire the knowledge and the skills for PCI DSS consulting, right? You'll gain the knowledge and the skills for PCI DSS consulting, which is the business aspect of PCI DSS, okay? PCI DSS consulting. Now, the business aspect of cybersecurity, still focusing on PCI DSS, you are also going to be well vested in that as we are going through the course, right? You are going to gain a lot of knowledge and skill, not just on in IT sales and marketing, but in cybersecurity sales and marketing as well, and generally in IT sales and marketing, right? And we are talking about all these because if you really want to double, triple your income, right, this is one area that you can look at, right? So instead of maybe stacking up 3 jobs, now that is like the cool thing to do, right? People are doing 3 jobs, 2 jobs. You can easily be doing this and it might look like you are doing 7 jobs, right? To make more money is not to do more work, but to, you know, have a strategy of doubling yourself or tripling yourself or tripling your efforts, right? Or having your money to work for you. Okay? So that is the whole intent for this program, right? And you'll be working with clients, so, you know, real world merchants and service providers. You'll be working with them on compliance and everything that I'm talking about, you know, maybe probably from people just knowing that PCI DSS just is about, you know, auditing, and a QSA company like Eretmis auditing a merchant or a service provider. That is not everything that we do. And in the program, we are going to outline all the services and the products that we have, right? So when you are approaching a company about, hey, this is the services that we offer, you'll be able to list them and you know exactly what you're talking about, right? It's not just about the auditing side. So you don't necessarily have to be a QSA company to be a PCI DSS consultant, right? Or set up shop as a PCI DSS consultant firm. You don't have to be a QSA. But if you have a QSA company backing you, it's a big plus, because if you have to do an audit or your client needs an audit, then we are there, right? Anything else that they need that borders on a QSA or a QSA company to put their stamp on it, we are there to back you up. Okay? So that is the goal of this. The goal of this is to empower you overall to make you very successful in this field, right? So you're also going to acquire some of the tips and tricks in cybersecurity consulting. Okay? And the best part about it, you are going to earn, you know, some extra income, and depending on how you look at it or how much effort you put in, is probably going to replace your current income, if you want to put it that way. Now, eligibility, who is eligible for to participate in this program, right? And I'm speeding it up because we want to do this within an hour. So who is eligible? If you are 18 years and above, you are eligible to work in the United States. You must pass background checks. And background checks, we have background checks in here because we'll be working with clients on PCI DSS stuff, right? So you might come in contact with the cardholder data. So per PCI requirement 12.7, all people that we employ, and this doesn't only apply to merchants and service providers, but to PCI companies, we have to make sure that we do background checks. And the background checks includes employment history, criminal record, credits, and reference checks. So for us, the only thing we're going to look at here is criminal records. We don't really care about employment history. We don't really care about your credit history, right? And for references, I mean, we don't really care about references. We don't need all of that. The only thing that we need is criminal record, or we are going to check, you know, if nothing is going to impede you from being able to work in the PCI DSS space with us as a consultant or as in any capacity, right? Or as a contractor in any capacity, because this is not from us, it's from PCI, and anybody who is familiar with the PCI DSS requirements, 12.7, right, is the one that really borders on background checks. Okay, so we are also in our bid to, you know, also as a QSA company stay in compliance, we have to not only impose this on other people, but also, you know, adhere to it. Okay, so if you have some knowledge of PCI DSS, is preferable, but it's not a requirement, right? Some knowledge of cybersecurity is preferred. Some knowledge of marketing and sales is preferred, or some skills in these areas that I've mentioned are preferred, but they are not going to be a discriminator, or if you don't have it, it doesn't mean you wouldn't be able to join the program, okay? So, but, you know, if you have any of these, it is going to help you, right? But even if you don't, you know, we still got you, so don't worry about that side. So why should you partner with us? I think we probably touched on that for a while. We are a QSA company in good standing, and probably we are the only QSA company who is coming up with this program. Maybe probably after we roll it out, maybe you see some other copycats might jump in here, but, you know, we are going to be the pace setters. Our mission, so the mission for this whole program is to help our partners, which is going to be you, to become PCI DSS consultants. Okay, and our vision is to expand our program from just being a partnership program to where we can form a big partnership with, you know, by that time, hoping everything goes well with the different companies that our partners would have set up, you know, by that time. So maybe probably in the next year or 2, 3, we'll have a very big team, different companies coming together to work on huge PCI DSS projects, right? Our goal is to really take over the PCI DSS industry, and Eretmis family is going to own more than 50% of everything that goes on in the PCI DSS industry. So we are also, you know, for us, because we are also a training institute, Eretmis Academy, we take pride in making sure that our partners who know exactly what they have to do, right, and do it effectively. So expert knowledge in business and also in PCI DSS, you are going to benefit from that as well. Okay, so these are some of the reasons why you should partner with us. And how do you get started? First step is to fill out our application forms. This is the link. We will post it in the, when we start doing question and answers, we will post it in the chat. And also payments because we are doing background checks and how the whole program is going to run, the program is not going to be totally free. You have to pay something, but how much you're going to pay, you are going to get to know it after you've gone through and filled out the application and everything. So we have to first do the first screening and the shortlist. Everybody is going to be in the know. It is not going to be something crazy. I can assure you that. But it's going to be something that everybody can afford. So and you have to pass. So the next step will be to pass background checks, and then you have to sign and agree and sign our partnership agreements. And then the last thing that we forgot to put on here is you're also going to sign a non-disclosure as well. And we will talk more when people bring up questions and answers. So this is, I know this was like really fast, but this is the official launching of this program. We are going to be discussing it throughout the week. Our goal, or like our starting, our estimated start date is probably going to be in a week and a half, 2 weeks from now, right? It's when the first meeting is going to be held for all our partners. We are going to have a meeting and discuss the way forward, and we will break and start attacking the market. Okay, so this is the end of the presentation, the official presentation of the launching of our partnership program. Now I'm going to open up and have the floor is open to question and answers, and as question and answers are coming in, we'll be able to explain things more. Okay. There are some questions here already, so please, for questions and answers, please raise your virtual hand, and then we will talk about, or like I'll give you the floor for you to talk. So I'll start with Rayma is saying, can we have these links, okay, through emails? Yes, so we will send it out. Everybody who is here, we will be able to send out emails and information about what we discussed to everybody. Okay. In the chats, I think we'll be able to, okay. So the application form has just been posted in the chat. Okay, in Canada, yes, if you're in Canada, you can participate as well. So I have no experience in cybersecurity. Yes, you don't necessarily have to get experience in cybersecurity, and I'll explain that, right? So if you do, it's fine. If you don't, it doesn't really take anything away from what we are doing. So before I let everybody else in, I think I have to address this like quickly. So this whole program, you can be a cybersecurity person, you can be a PCI DSS person, or otherwise, if you don't have any experience or background in them, it's fine. But the downside to that is this program is going to help you not only to become technically proficient in PCI or in cybersecurity, but also in the business aspect of cybersecurity as well, right? So if you don't have the technical knowledge, you can still gain a lot from the business aspect, right? You don't necessarily have to be a very good cook to set up a restaurant. That is the goal here. But if you're a really good cook and you set up a restaurant, you have some classes to your name, because maybe probably at the initial stage when there is nobody to cook, or if the cooks are charging you, like whatever they are charging is way out of your league, you can be doing the cooking yourself, right? And plus, no cook, can just bluff over you because they know you can't cook when they leave, right? So that is just an analogy that I'm using. Now, so you get the intent of this. We are looking at it more from the business perspective. If you have the technical knowledge and skill, it's a big plus, right? So for somebody with no technical knowledge and skill, you can set up shop as a consulting firm, but you can't be the consultant because, I mean, obviously you have to be advising on technical stuff. So if you are not good in that area, you can then employ people with technical knowledge to be able to work in that capacity. And two, we will be showing you how to apply for government contracts, how to apply for state contracts. So it's really purely the business aspect of cybersecurity or IT. Okay. But everybody else with technical knowledge, and for PCI DSS specifically, for your PCI DSS knowledge that you have, is going to be very beneficial, because now you as an individual, you can be the consultant, right? You don't have to bring anybody from outside. You can be the consultant. For anybody else who is interested in this, but don't necessarily have any cybersecurity or PCI background, then you can, set up everything, because you have the structures and how to set it up, right? And then you can bring somebody else on who is not business savvy like yourself to be doing the technical stuff, and you'll be running the business aspect of it. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. That makes sense. We will look at the chart, but I'm going to let Fabienne go first, and then Theophilus is going to go. So Fabienne, please go ahead.
Hello, Doctor. How are you? Good to see you again. I'm one of the student of Rhythmic Academy, and then I'm so excited so far. I really learned lots of things from your academy, and then I really appreciate that you just give us opportunity to part of the business and all those things. So I have a question. I believe somebody will put it there. So as a consultant, so we need to do it as a freshers. How is gonna be work? Like we need to open the LLC company, and then through them, how are we gonna find the client, and how is gonna be work those things? So I really appreciate if you give me this answer. But anyway, I'm gonna stick with you till the end, because since I'm your student. So yeah, please.
Okay.
Thank you
good
so
point.
much for your help.
Yeah, thank you. Good point, Fabienne. So for us, we are starting off. You don't have to set up an LLC now. We are going to have you get in that motion of learning the business aspect of everything else that we are doing. To set up LLC, that is too easy. You can set up LLC in 5 minutes. Get your social security number for your company, which is your EIN number. All that can be done within like a matter of minutes, right? But when you do that, then what? Like that is not the main goal. If you know, or if you have the skills about getting the business, you can do all that without necessarily setting up shop yet. And now what we are going to do in this program is we are going to show you when we do it together. Get a contract, we work on it, you get your commission, you work on the contract itself. You are part of the process, like the business aspect of the contracts, right? And we will show you how to approach companies, how to, like if you approach a company right now, who is in charge of PCI DSS? Like, do you even know? You don't, right? You don't want to talk to the wrong person who is not a business, who is not a decision maker when it comes to, pushing money out for anything, right? So you get to know all those as we move along. So when it's time for you to set up shop yourself, setting up LLC, that is least of your problems, because that can be done in seconds, right? But knowing the knowledge, or having the knowledge and the skill, and knowing where to go and having a client list, that is the most important, right? So but setting up LLC and all that, we can walk you through all that. So as to, do you need an LLC, or do you need like a corporation to make it an S Corp? There's a whole business side that we will take you through as well, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm going to start with the individual, obviously with you, because I saw that when they're learning the PCI DSS, I saw that you cannot do it by your alone. You need the authorized, like who is the authorized by the payment card industries, like you say your company is already there, which is I already verified also with their website. So of course, like you need, we just need your help as well. So I'm just saying that how it's going to be work. So I think I get my answer. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Go ahead, Theophilus.
Hello.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good evening, the students. My name is Theophilus. My question is, how much is going to cost for the study? And then number 2 question is, how long is the program? And the last one is, how do you going to seek for the employment? That's a job.
Okay, thank you, Theophilus. So I'll start with your last question. This program is not for you to go seek for employment, right? I hope that is clear to everybody. So we are not going to look for a job. We are going to look for an opportunity, right? There's two differences between that, right? So we are looking for opportunities, and an example is Theophilus within within your local area. Almost every company that is out there that accepts credit card, right? They have to stay in compliance with PCI DSS. Now, if they are level 1 merchants, they have to have an auditing firm like ours to come and do an audit for them, right? Even if they are not level 1, they still need to do the self-assessment questionnaire. And with the self-assessment questionnaire, they need somebody who knows what they are doing to fill that out for them, right? So aside the actual audits and maybe doing the self-assessment questionnaire, which is done every 12 months, the merchant will have to stay in compliance with PCI DSS all year long, right? And some of the things that they have to do, one of the very simple and easy ones is they have to do security awareness training for their entire staff and for their IT folks. You don't need to be a QSA company to offer security awareness training. Does everybody get where I'm getting at with this?
Yes.
Yes. So there is a lot of, they have to do gap analysis, right? Now, PCI DSS version 3.2.1, which is the framework, we are moving to version 4. In the next year and a half, version 3.2.1 will be, kicked out, and it will be only version 4. Now, both of them are running hand in hand. What strategy organizations, like what strategy does these organizations have to switch to version 4.0? They are struggling with 3.2.1 as it is. What strategy do they have to switch to 4.0, right? That is something that we can be working on, right? So we will be approaching companies with proposals like this one, right? Hey, what are you guys doing about switching to version 4? We have this roadmap for you. We can help you do A, B, C, D, and then make sure by the time we have to just switch to 4.0, you are good, right? So there is a lot that goes into, it's not just doing the audits. Even after the audits, you have to stay in compliance all year long. And who is going to help you do that, right? There's a lot of, like a bucket list of stuff you have to do to stay in compliance all year long. So there's a lot that you can do. You don't necessarily have to be a QSA yourself or necessarily a QSA company, but we will show you all that in the program, right? And you are talking about duration. So duration, when we start off the program, it is going to be based on, it is going to be performance based, right? So once we start it off, we will do first 6 months, but within every 3 months, we will take stock. So anybody who is not taking this seriously, if you are not bringing in anything, you are not, making any headway, we are going to drop you, right? This is going to be a very serious group because it's not just about the number that we're going to get together in the group, it's about the quality. So if we have 3 people who are on fire, right, and they are making headways, making good money for themselves and gaining a lot of experience, we will prefer that than to have like 80 people, half of whom probably, will just say I'm part of the program, but really not, right? So it is going to be performance based. If you put in the effort, you are going to stay on. If not, you are going to be laid off. And it's not just the 6 months. After the 6 months, like the 6 months will be when we will take stock and then move forward. So for people who are taking it very seriously and working hard to make something out of this for themselves, we will move on to the next stage with them, move on to the next stage. And our goal is for our partners within the next year and a half, help you set up shop, right? So, help you register your company, become a full-blown company on your own, and we are still going to work as partners, okay? So, but starting off, you don't have to, if you set up a company, like what are you really going to do? You don't even know what you are doing, so you don't have to waste your money to go set up a company, but we will, take you under our wing. And for those who want to become QSAs in the future, as we are moving along, we will point you in the right direction. There is a program by PCI that is called Associate QSA Program. We can, even when you set up your company, we can take you in and make you an associate QSA company. So mentor and train you for the next maybe year and a half, and then we can, you know, by that time you have enough, like strong wings enough to fly on your own, and we can set you off fly, right? So there is a lot, right, on the business side that maybe probably nobody will be talking about it, maybe except maybe probably Dr. Edu, right? But my goal is to make sure I bring this to everybody. Everybody is aware of what is going on, right? Because the people who are making headways and with these big companies, they are not smarter than anybody on here. It's just information. If you don't have the information, it looks like it's some complex rocket science, but it really isn't, right? It's just a matter of, you know, getting the right information. Okay, go ahead, George.
Oh, hi, Dr. Edu and everyone in the class. This is George. I think this is a great initiative, you know, and thank you for, you know, starting this. I understand a lot of what you're saying. It's going to be hard work, but can you give an idea, like everyone, an idea of what money they can make, right? You know, because I can see someone ask a question about employment, because we're all in different stages of our life. Some people are looking for, you know, ways to make, you know, like to have an employment, right? So if you can at least give an idea that, hey, if you put in this, these are, you know, some of the ranges, just to paint a picture of that, a picture that this is bigger than employment, because that's what I believe.
Okay, so George, you're coming in a bit broken for me, but I think I got what you're trying to say at the end of it. Somebody put in here, how much will you pay as commission? Well, that depends on how much business you are bringing in, right? So let's say if you are paying you 10% of whatever you bring in, and you bring a gig for $1,000, how much do you think you're going to get, right? So how much you are going to get, I don't think for now that shouldn't even be like the right question to ask, because then your mind is at the wrong place. Is what do I need to go out to do what? And, you know, how am I going to, you know, go about this? Not the money, right? The money is going to be an added benefit, because in the business side of everything, you just have to become more valuable. If you become more valuable, you are going to be paid more, right? So let's not just, you know, get this in the wrong way and start chasing the money. How much am I going to get? How much business can you bring in? If you bring in $1 million and you're getting paid 10% of it, how much are you going to get, right? If you bring in $2 million and you're getting paid 10% of it, how much are you going to get, right? So if I were you, I'll focus more on what am I going to learn in this, or what skill set am I going to get, right? Because to become a millionaire or to become very wealthy, it's not about the money, it's about what you are going to learn in that process. Because that is why somebody can lose all their money, or they can give all their money to charity. In the next 3-4 years, they'll make it all back, because they have the skill sets and they have that mindset also, right? So it's not about the money. It's about how you'll be able to, if you know how to make the money, you can always make it. And that is what we are showing you, how to make it. It's not how much are you going to give me. So I hope that, and for George, to answer your question, George, this is probably like the second time George is asking something like this, right? So just to give you some idea about, for PCI DSS audits or assessments, different companies charge differently. There is no set amount or, you know, set standard, but there is still some, you know, untold standard. For PCI DSS on-site assessments, the least that any company will charge you is probably around 50,000 plus, right? So if it's a huge company, and some assessments go in excess of $1 million plus, right? I've seen assessment that was like $1.2 million for like 4 months of work, right? So depends on the size of the company. It depends, like a lot of things goes, you will go, into it, right? Depends on, how many people the company have on staff and who is coming to do what, and the assessment and like but the least, if that is maybe probably like, this company and you'll be working for them for a while and they really don't want to charge you, but they still have to take something, it's probably gonna be around 50,000 plus. Go ahead. Is that like a follow-up from George, or I'll let Dorcas take the floor?
Yeah, so there was a follow-up. So, like, I don't want you to get me wrong, guys. I think that this initiative is bigger than employment, right? Like, business is always going to trump employment. So for me, when I ask this question, it's like just to make it like so we can all get the picture that this is big. This is bigger than just like what we're making in our jobs right
now. Okay, George. I totally get your point, and I know like that was the intent of your question. So, Dorcas, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dr. Adu. I just wanted to find out how often this meeting is going to be in a week, and is there going to be a self-learning aspect of it? Just so for those working, we can better balance our life and incorporate that also in our day-to-day activities. If I can get an idea of that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dorcas. So we'll be meeting once a week, right? And there is not going to be any training course. Like this is not a training or like a course, right? This is a business that we are going to do, right? It is business that we are going to do, not training, not any of that. You are learning on the business, but it's business, right? So we will meet as a mastermind group, discuss and talk about what is going on, what Alan did, how Alan was able to get this gig, and discuss those, and we'll learn from, it's like a bunch of CEOs meeting together and discussing how to move their business forward. That is how those meetings are going to look and sound like, right?
Okay, sounds good. So I'm thinking there might be some materials shared for you to go back and kind of educate yourself on it. Then we all come back together and pretty much see how far we're doing.
Oh yeah, so our first meeting is going to be the introduction. Hey, this is what we are looking at. This is like a bucket list of everything that we have to touch. And if we have to approach companies, or if we are given like the strategy of how to talk to CISOs and how to pitch to them and let them know that we are the best option when it comes to anything PCI for them. And even I was discussing with like one of our PCI classes, and Mr. Williams brought it up, offering kind of like even like security awareness training for free to these companies. Like all those are ways that you will be able to get the attention, and they will get to know that, hey, you can do the job, right? So how we will do it and how we go about it, all of it, if it has to do with like material, you are going to get it, right? If we have to give you some products, you are going to get it. Okay, so that is too easy. You are going to get it. But the whole goal of it during those meetings is not going to be teaching you something. Then you might as well just like make it a course. This is business, so we will be approaching companies in real time. We'll be selling our products to them, services to them. So if, let's say, Dorcas comes with a gig, hey, this company wants us to come in, maybe demonstrate our security awareness training to them, guess who is going to be the lead? Dorcas is going to be the lead, right? So if Dorcas is not very technical, she has no cybersecurity background, she has no PCI DSS background, that is fine. We can have somebody be the lead, but she's going to, be in the process the whole time and know what went on. And, since she's the one who approached the company, if the company has to, go ahead with whatever services, she's going to get the cut, right? And we also, depending on the number that we get for this program, we are going to divide it into smaller groups. So groups of 4 to 5, 4 to 5, 4 to 5. So if you are in that group and one member of the group gets a gig, everybody works on it, right? But the commission will go to that person, right? So that, if we have 6 or 7 gigs going at the same time, we have enough people and enough team to work on it. Okay? So that is how everything is going to look like and work. So any questions? Let me take a look at.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Dorcas. So Kwabna is asking, what is the focus of the group and how do we fit in? So I think probably what I just said answers that, right? So the focus of the group is business, PCI DSS business, and we can stretch it further and make it cybersecurity business because PCI DSS is part of cybersecurity, right? So like the focus of the group is PCI DSS business, getting PCI DSS business, and everybody else in the group is going to benefit from it by working on that business or by working on that gig. And also like the entire process of going through and getting the business, everybody is also in the know and they know what is going on, right? So during our discussions, we are discussing business, not just school stuff. Okay. Go ahead, Fred.
Hey, bro, Edu. Always love listening to you. You're making me feel good. So I was listening to the recent General Assembly, United Nations General Assembly, and I heard something from some of the African leaders talking highly about cybersecurity, which I believe affects so many parts of the world as well. Is this something that you may want to consider us going international soon?
Yes, I mean, for PCI is an international standard, right? But for PCI Council's qualification, you can choose to register for North America. You can choose to register for the entire world, right? So depending on where you choose to qualify as an assessor or as an assessor company, that is where like you choose where you can do your assessments or put your stamp on an assessment report, right? So going elsewhere in Africa, in like all that is very possible, is doable, right? Is doable. But for us, because there is a lot of business in the States, we think we'll be stretching ourselves too thin. But that is like a really good point that you brought up, right? So we cannot do it all. So that is why we are, pushing out this program. So when Fred has set up his own company, now he's either a QSA company or a PCI DSS consulting firm. He can get a gig like that. Maybe probably 2 or 3 companies on this call might be able to go work on it, right? So there's really, the sky is not even the limit for us to what we can do, if we put our minds together and we work hard at it. Okay. So good point, Fred. Good point. But that is one place that we are eyeing. And also just for everybody on here who is not aware, so for our academy, we've partnered with ADDI, and ADDI, they are pushing this program. It's called the African Youth Cybersecurity Program, where they sponsor African youth to take cybersecurity training with Eretmis Academy, right? We've trained, I think, so far about 15 students, spanning from, all over the continent of Africa, from Ghana, Nigeria, Malawi, name it, Kenya, Cameroon, and out of the 15, I think 2 or 3 have gotten jobs already. One of them, like one of the 15 students on the continent of Africa, was the MVP during our internship program. She was really, and I wasn't surprised when she got a job, right? She got a cybersecurity job in Africa. So if you're in the States and you're complaining about not finding a cybersecurity job, then you probably have to talk to me offline because you are not doing something right. So because cybersecurity is still almost not born in Africa and other parts of the world, right? It is there, but it's not like it's there, right? Even in the States, cybersecurity, if it's cybersecurity is a human being, cybersecurity is probably like maybe 10 years-ish. It's not even a teenager, right? So that is why in the States, we are struggling for cybersecurity professionals to, fill cybersecurity jobs. Around the world, everybody is still struggling. not just the United States. So that goes to show you that cybersecurity has not even, got to that maturity level around the world. In terms of technology and in terms of, how we are strategizing, everybody's, doing their part, they are trying, but we are not where we need to be, right? So there is a lot of growth and opportunity in Africa. So if somebody is able to train with us and get a job in Africa, then you really have no excuse if you are living elsewhere in the diaspora. Right? So that was just out of Fred's question. So comment. So let me see if there are any questions in the chat. Right. So website is asking if we are going to touch based on other standards. So for this program, maybe, probably not, right? It depends if maybe the business we get, our client requires us to help them with other aspects of, or like another framework like ISO or maybe SOC, SOC 2, then we will touch on it. Either than that, the place where you get, other frameworks being touched on will be in the group coaching program, right? But for this is a purely PCI program. So we are focusing on PCI, and I mean, although everything else outside PCI still falls under cybersecurity, so but it depends on the business we are doing, like, or whatever gig that we are working on, right? Either than that, it's just going to purely PCI. Okay, so I think I'm done with the chat. Fred, I'm going to lower your hand. Rejoice, please go ahead, and then Mohammed will go.
Thank you, sir. Please, my question is, with the registration, if you're not ready to register now, maybe because financially you're not ready, can you register anytime that you are set, you are ready to join?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I think that shouldn't be a problem, because this is not a class, so we are not going to be at a point where you cannot join. When you join, you are going to pick up from, like wherever you join. So if you have to give you like material on, hey, this is what we've done during our group discussions and everything, you can also benefit from it. So you don't necessarily have to, you can join at any time, right? And we will assign you to a group or a team, depending on when you join. That shouldn't be a problem. And also what I'll say to everybody is, please just, like, initially, we've not even named anything in terms of money. Just go ahead and fill the registration form. We'll get back with everybody, right? So depending on if you think you have like a special case, hey, I might not be able to, go this route. I can do it and come up with A, B, C, D, right? Our goal is really not the money. If it's the money, probably I'll be sleeping by now, right? But there is more than money, right? What I'm doing here is more than money to me. Cyber chats, helping people out, is more valuable than money, right? So that is what I was saying initially. We should get out of that mindset of, hey, how much am I going to get? How much is this? If we do that, then we are limiting ourselves, right? Because my joy and the money that I get is when one of our students or somebody that, we helped out comes back and say, hey, this really helped me. I'm working here as a cybersecurity engineer. I'm working here. That is like, you can't pay me enough for that, right? So that is the goal. So if you think you're running into any issues in terms of financial issues and stuff, talk to us offline. Maybe we can work something out. So go ahead, Mohammed.
Hi, Doctor. Thank you for giving us this. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are coming in broken, but you are good now.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for giving us this opportunity. I think it's really great that you're helping us get to the next level. My question is, you mentioned that we'll be bringing in clients to work on the project. So my question is, do we get the hands-on experience, like the technical? Should we do the technical first to get some of us who didn't get that hands-on working on their rock or working on technical part to get up to the speed and then get the client, or is it vice versa where we get the clients first and then we work on the project? So kind of like a follow-up question. If I get accepted to this program, technically as you mentioned, it's a partnership, but can I, like, let's see, update my LinkedIn, say, I start working for, Eretmis, or, your company, that now, I'm employed there. Is it something that I can claim?
Yeah, so, yes, go ahead,
and
please.
my last question is, I have the qualification, basically, QSA. I have the experience / the requirement where they have you get, the certifications, pre-certification like CISA, CISSP. If I have those, what are my next level that I can do with this partnership?
Okay, so I'll tackle your last question first. So you said you have like the prerequisites for a QSA training, right?
Yeah.
So if you join this partnership, is there a chance for you to become a QSA through this program? So to answer that, to become a QSA, it has to be a QSA company who will sponsor you to become a QSA, right? And your QSA certification stays with the company. Once you leave the company, you are no more QSA. Now, with that being said, for Eretmis Inc., which is a QSA company, to sponsor you to become a QSA, you have to be working for Eretmis Inc. Not, working as an independent contractor or just a partner, but a full-blown W-2 employee, right? Because if you are a 1099 contractor or you are a partner, you are not necessarily on our payroll. So we cannot take you to PCI and say, hey, this person is our employee. And reason why that is this: if you are not on our payroll, we don't control you. We don't control your actions. We don't control what you do. And once you get the QSA qualification, we don't know what you're going to do with it, right? Probably going to have somebody who didn't pass the audit and say, oh, yeah, you're good. I'm a QSA. I'm going to put the stamp on it. Your rock is good to go. That is what PCI is trying to control. That is why their certifications are tied to companies. A company has to be qualified as that certification first before people within the company can go get that certification through that company. Okay. So, but like I said, depending on how well you take this or how seriously you take this, if you are making, you are moving up the ladder in this program, we can take you under our belt with your company. If maybe now you've set up your own company, right? We can take you under our belt as an associate QSA company, and you'll be under us. PCI has a program like that. The PCI Council has a program like that. So we will mentor you. It's like a protege program. We will mentor you for, I think it's a year or two. And then we can now approach PCI Council and say you are good. Now they will sign you off. Once your company becomes a QSA company, you can be sponsored to become a QSA. Right? Or if, depending on, let's say like Mohammed comes in, is really, doing great things, bringing in huge business, we have no choice but to, keep Mohammed as an employee or like a contractor / employee. Then obviously, yes, we can also take you in as an associate QSA. And then later on, you're going to be on your own. But at that point, once you leave Eretmis, you are no more a QSA. You are a former QSA, but you are no more a QSA, right? But there are ways around that. So we will talk about that. And I think The next one was, do you have to get the technical knowledge and skill before you can go get a contract? The answer is no, right? The answer is no. So once we get the contract, we'll be working on it. So even if you don't have any, like you don't have that experience, you will get that experience now, because you'll be sitting in, if let's say we are doing an on-site audit, we will do the required paperwork. So it's not like you are going to be given privilege information whilst you are not part of our team. So at that point, we will contract you, have you on as a contractor, you sign and be part of Eretmis, right? If we have to do something that borders on sensitive information, then you'll be sitting in meetings and all that. So you will see the entire process play out. When we are doing the work, when we are doing everything, you see how we do up, like how we do it. You even have like a part to do, right? Because doing the work is, you know, I don't want to put it in a certain terms, but it's really tedious. It takes a lot of time and a lot of sitting down. So always it's good to have a helping hand. So I hope that answers your question, Mohammed.
Yeah, and the last one, can we, if we get accepted, we update our LinkedIn, say now
okay. Yeah, so if you get accepted, right, it's not right then you can update your LinkedIn and say you are working for Eretmis. We, like when you get accepted in our first meeting, we will show you the levels of the partnership, right? Once you hit a certain level, now you can put on your LinkedIn and say, hey, I'm a partner at Eretmis, right? Okay. So that will even look more cooler than saying I'm an employee at Eretmis. Being a partner is different.
Yes.
It's really like, yeah, how the law, like how the lawyers do. You are an associate, yeah. You are a partner of the firm. You are not an employee of the firm, right? So that is kind of what we are trying to get here. Yeah, so we want to empower you more than just to make you our employee. So we want to put you in a higher position than just, it's not like if you are an employee, there's anything wrong with it, you know, but we want to make it more fancy and also to, you know, give you that empowerment that, hey, you have this whole, you know, freedom to operate and be innovative and, you know, come up with innovative stuff. But sometimes when you have that tag of employee, you are kind of limited, right? You have some boss who don't know any better. Even if you come up with really smart ideas, they just sit on it, right? But if you're a partner, you know, nobody can really do that to you. If you come up with really good ideas, it's probably going to pass whoever is going to sit on it, probably going to go to the CEO or somebody who is, you know, in a decision-making spot, who can say, oh yeah, that is smart, let's move on with it. So that is the dynamics of this. Adrian, please go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Edu, and thank you, colleagues, for sitting in. I think you're asking very important questions. I had raised a concern on, I've been to the US severally, I'm Kenyan. I was just wondering if I have a business visa, for example, and a certificate of good conduct for that's a clearance from a police. Does that mean I'm anywhere closer to being able to handle any work there? Because this is a business visa. When I came there, I was supposed to be able to do some business. So in terms of working in a partnership as a consultant or a contractor, does that help at all? Or do I really have to apply for a work permit? Thank you.
Can you please repeat the first portion of your question? There was some little noise, I think. Someone mistakenly unmuted themselves. So I don't want to repeat the question because I didn't hear it right? So if you want to just, you know, reiterate the first portion of the question, and then I think I got the rest of it. So then I'll be able to answer it.
Okay, Doc, I said I've been to the US several before, and I have a business visa. So in the time when the business visa is still valid, and I have police clearance on this side and that's the check that we do here in Kenya, does that get me anywhere closer to being eligible to handling anything with you as a partner or a contractor or a consultant?
Okay, thank you, Adrian. So for like, as part of the eligibility that I talked about there, is you have to be eligible to work in the States. If it's if it's in Canada, that's fine. But you have to be eligible. So reason being that if we have to pay you any amount of money, right? We as a business, Eretmis as a business, we will have to account for it, and we have to pay taxes on it as well, right? So if you are not eligible to work, i.e. if you don't have like a social security number, we don't know how to tag that to you, right? Or how that whole transaction is going to be. So that is why we say you have to be, and two, we can't have you do any work in the States as a business if you don't have the like the permission to work, right? So on a business visa, like B1, B2 visas, you are authorized to do business, not to work. Those are two different things, right? So doing business, example, you are, coming to purchase some items to take it back to your home country to sell, right? So the business that you're doing is not, you cannot do retail in the States, set up shop, buy stuff and start selling there because it's business. The business that you are doing is to, come purchase maybe something or come, but you cannot provide services in there without the authorized paperwork, right? So maybe probably that should answer your question. So if you don't have like work authorization in the States, then you wouldn't be able to work on there. Now, caveat to that is, let's say you want to get onto this program, that is fine. If you are able to get a gig in Kenya, then we can work on it together, right? Or get a gig in your home country or wherever you're from, then we can work on it together, right? But in the States, you need to, for us as a business, we need to see that you are eligible to work. Now, if you say you are eligible to work, but you are not eligible to work, and it is time for us to pay you, obviously you're not going to get paid. Right. So I hope everybody understands that piece of it. And I hope that answers your question, Ibrahim.
Yes, thanks. That does.
Yeah, it does, Doc. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate everybody's time. I really, really appreciate your time. I don't take anybody's time for granted here. If you show up for any of our programs, we appreciate you, and we will do everything within our power to make sure that every time that we meet, we give you something of value for you and for the entire Eretmis family. So we are going to break here. More information will be sent out. We posted the link for the registration in here. We are going to post it again. We will send it by email as well. Please go ahead and fill that out. We'll do the initial screening. And then, we will send out more information about how to proceed to the next level. Okay, okay, Adrian, I'm going to lower your hand. There is a question. Aliko, please go ahead. Please, you are muted. I think I muted you again. Okay. In the bid to send you on mute, you are muted. Please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I apologize. I joined late, but my question is this recorded and can I get the replay?
Yes, please. It is always recorded, and the recording will be sent out via email and on our various platforms, so you'll be able to have access to it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, everybody. I appreciate everybody's time. And the PCI class will be still meeting, so I'll meet you guys in the next 5 minutes. Thank you very much. We will meet again on Friday. We will be discussing IT auditing on Friday, so please don't miss it. We will meet on Friday. Have a blessed rest of the week. Bye then.